going on, sports fans? Coming at you with another video today before we go live with the games coming on today for the divisional round. But I want to talk about a couple of coach openings that really are not getting talked about. We're talking about the New Orleans Saints and the Jacksonville Jaguars. You know, everybody's talking about the Bears, the Raiders, the Jets, the Cowboys, but you barely hear anything about the Saints and the Jaguars. Why is that? Well, in my opinion, it has to deal with the ownership. It really does. It has to deal with the ownership. You know, you've got two organizations that are really good. You got the New Orleans Saints, owned by Gail Benson, and you have the Jacksonville Jaguars, owned by Shadid Khan. Now, let's talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars real quick. That is a great environment, except for the general manager and the owner. He's already come out and said that the new head coach will, I guess, be directed to him instead of the general manager. He will talk to the new head coach, not the general manager. Yeah, that's not a good thing. You know, everybody in Jacksonville was like, wait a minute, why do we fire the head coach and still keep the general manager? What's going on here? Why are they doing this to us? I mean, you have Trevor Lawrence. I know he's coming off an injury, but you have a good organization down in Jacksonville. You know, we're going to talk about the Jaguars real quick, and then we're going to talk about the Saints. But you've got Trevor Lawrence. You've got a youngish team. You've got a nice stadium, a great location down in Florida. But you don't hear about any coaching opportunities going there. And it makes you wonder why. Why are we not talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars? And I believe it deals with the ownership there. I really do. He did not fire his general manager, which he should have. The new head coach is going to come in, whoever it is. I mean, again, you really haven't heard anything about it right now. The top teams they're talking about are the Bears and the Cowboys and the Jets. Bears, Cowboys, and Jets. But you don't hear anything about the Jags, and you don't hear anything about the Saints. And it's kind of sad. It really is. I mean, this is the Jacksonville Jaguars. You're down in Florida. You have great weather. Yeah, you got to worry about hurricanes every once in a while, but you still have great weather, a nice stadium. But you got an owner that does not know what he's doing. In my opinion, he's one of those owners that just wants to be the owner. Like, yeah, I own a football team. Well, what do you do with it? I don't know. I own it. I don't know what to do. I just want to say I own a football team. And you have Trevor Lawrence that if you don't bring in the right coach, you're going to ruin that kid's career. If you don't bring in a coach who knows what he's doing, who knows how to build an offense around Trevor Lawrence, build up a line, build up a good running game, get him a couple of good wide receivers, you're going to ruin that kid's career. You really are. You know, I was talking with my son-in-law, and I was like, you know, if I was Deion Sanders, I'd take the Jacksonville Jaguars job. He coached in Florida already, so you've already got, you know, that going for you. Trade Trevor Lawrence to a team, build up some first-round draft picks, and then trade up in the draft and draft your son. That makes sense, but it's not going to happen. You hear nothing coming out about the Jaguars. I haven't seen it on First Take. I haven't seen it on Colin Cowherd. I haven't seen it on ESPN. I haven't seen it on CBS. You hear nothing about them. You hear nothing about these two organizations. And the New Orleans Saints with Gail Benson. New Orleans is a great community with this team. That team has built up the community. You have Spencer Rattler. He needs a really good offensive-minded head coach to come in. He really does. Maybe Cliff Kingsbury comes in. That makes sense. Look what he's doing there in Washington. But again, you don't hear about it. You do not hear anything about these two organizations. The Saints, they have a great community. They have loyal fans. You hear when it comes to the ownership group, you know, she doesn't want her kids to get a hold of it. She wants to run the team, and well, if you're going to run the team, you got to make it, you know, appealing to a head coach. Again, like a Cliff Kingsbury down in New Orleans would make sense to me with Spencer Rattler. It really does. Look what he did with the possible NFL Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels. I tell you, it makes sense, but you hear nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's nothing on Get Up. There's nothing on with Nightcap with Shannon Sharpe. There's nothing on First Take. There's nothing on Colin Cowherd. Nothing. It's like it's gone quiet. It's like the NFL forgot that there's these two organizations that need head coaches. You hear nothing, and they are good organizations to go to. I have a friend who is a die-hard New Orleans Saints fan, and he calls me up, hey, who are we going to get? I have no idea. I heard nothing about it. Hey, what do you think about our organization? Well, number one, y'all were stupid to bring in Derek Carr. Yeah, that's my opinion. Derek Carr is a good, what I call regular season quarterback. He's like Sam Darnold. He could get you to the playoffs. That's it. He's not going to get you further in the playoffs. Look what he did in Oakland. So you hear all the talk about the Raiders, the Bears, the Cowboys, the Jets. Well, let's talk about these two teams. These two organizations that if you bring in the right guy, even a Cliff Kingsbury to the Jaguars to help Trevor Lawrence would be good. Would revitalize his career. But you have a young kid down in New Orleans, Spencer Rattler, that if you bring in a Cliff Kingsbury with his offense, get him a good running game, a good wide receiver and tight end, you can build something really good down in New Orleans. I like the Saints. I really do. I think they're a great organization. Everything they did after Katrina, what Sean Payton and Drew Brees did with that team. But we need to talk about these teams and why they are not darlings for head coaches. And in my opinion, it deals with the ownership group. Shadid Khan and Gail Benson, I don't want to say they don't know what they're doing, but it sounds like they don't know what they're doing. And you have quarterbacks there. Again, one's a rookie. One just got, his deal. And I know he got injured and he'll be coming off of that injury. But again, why did he get injured? What doesn't he have that everything had to be on his shoulders? They're running back down in Jacksonville, I believe is going to be a free agent, Estime. So they've got to change, man. They've got to change. They've got to take a step back and go, yeah, I own the team. What can I do to make this team better? Instead of, hey, guys, I own a team. Well, what are you going to do with it? I don't know. But I can tell my friends I own a team. I can go into high elite circles and go, hey, guess what, guys? I own an NFL team. Well, look what Oakland did. Look what Baby Davis did. And yes, that's what I call him, Baby Davis. He stepped back and said, guess what, Tom Brady? You run this. You do the interviews. You do the hirings. I'm just going to sit back and say, hey, this is your baby. And that was smart because Baby Davis did not know how to run that team. He did not know how to run it. And last year and the year before really, really proved that. So when it comes to the Saints and the Jaguars, two really good organizations, I can tell you right now, you bring in the right guy in the Saints, they can win that division. That is a winnable division. Same with the Jaguars. You bring in the right guy, tell the ownership, stay in your box. Let me do this, run this team my way. You can win that division. Those are two very winnable divisions where you would have a home playoff game if you bring in the right guy. Why not go after the head coach from Notre Dame? Just saying. Why not? Why aren't we doing that? Why aren't we talking to Cliff Kingsbury? Why? Why aren't we talking to Mike McCarthy? It looks like he's going to the Bears. what is going on with these two organizations. And to all you fans out there, to the Saints and the Jaguars, I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you guys. You bleed for your team. You're there every Sunday. You support them through thick and thin, and your ownership group is letting you down. Your ownership group is not standing beside you going, you know what? We're going to build this team up for you. We are going to make our teams relevant again. We are going to get into the playoffs. We are going to win a game. We're going to have a home playoff game. Look at what the Bronco ownership is doing for them. Their first year, they didn't have a clue of what they were doing. They stepped back and said, you know what? We're going to go talk to owners that know what we're doing, and we're going to build a team. We're going to build a dynasty. And that's what these two teams need. And I really hope they do it because, again, those are two very winnable divisions. You could have a home playoff game in those two divisions. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, y'all. But let me know in the comments down below. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe. I'm not one of those, creators that every time is like, oh, please subscribe to my channel. No. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, tell me what I'm doing wrong. But let's get a community going. Let's build a atmosphere where you can talk to me with no judgment, no problems about what you think your team should do. I hope you all have a good one. I'll catch you on the live stream today for the divisional round games. Have a good one. Peace!